Tonight on Friday Night Fights, we pit together the Pyrin and the Ragnahawk to see which one is better for the raid. Okay, I decided to do that. With these in particular videos, I think it's necessary to do a little intro, but yeah. So tonight we are talking about, or today or this afternoon, whenever you were watching this video, we're talking about the Pyrin and the Ragnahawk. Both are applied fire damage pals. So when riding them, they apply fire damage. So basically what we're looking at this point is what is going to be your best option overall for the raid as your main mount when you Gobfin stack behind it. Now there can be arguments made for both parties here. Do not mind the IVs on this one, they are garbage. This one has decent IVs, so that's one that we are using, but this one is subject to change. But what we're talking about right now, ain't worried about the IVs on these. With the Ragnahawk, biggest advantage with them is the fact that you can fly. So aerial attacks are really good for the raid specifically. And if you can stand still, then your stamina is not going to go down too much. As long as she doesn't pinpoint you and you have enough pals to take as cannon fodder, then you can kind of hit her from the air a lot more accurately, because there are times when you are trying to shoot at the raid boss and all of your base pals are surrounding her, and sometimes they'll hit them instead and it will blow up and not do any damage to her, especially if you're using rocket launchers. One disadvantage about the Ragnahawk is that it is quite slow in comparison to the Pyrin. Even with legend on it, it's not bad for speed, but I mean, it's just slower than the Pyrin. So to get away from stuff is going to require a little bit more maneuverability and everything. So instead of using burly body, I would probably suggest using Swift on the Ragnahawk, just because you can get around quicker. You will be sacrificing defensive properties, but at the same time, you will increase speed, so less times to get hit. That way you ain't got to worry about it, and that's really the name of the game. She does have a lot of AoE attacks that can be avoided because you are in the base ring and you have the option to get far enough away to still be able to attack her from range, especially from the air. So there are advantages and disadvantages to the Ragnahawk, mainly just speed. With the Pyrin, main disadvantage with them is that you are limited to the ground, but you have a lot more natural speed from the Pyrin to be able to maneuver, so you could put burly body on him instead of Swift. If you wanted even more speed, then you could put Swift on him in place of burly body. I think more or less the way that I would put it is that burly body and Swift can be substituted for either or. It just depends on your play style, if you want to be able to tank a bit more damage or if you want to be able to move a lot faster to avoid damage. But it is a lot of AoE attacks, and once you're stuck in them, they're hard to get out of. They both deliver fire damage, which is key for the switch of Bellanor or Bellanoir when she switches to ice. A lot of people were saying that the Pyrin jump was kind of not that great, but I think it's fine. I don't know if they improved this. To be honest, I don't think they did. I remember using it and it was this high prior, but it might have gotten improved with the update for some reason. But yeah, you can jump to a move and dodge and stuff. So Pyrin naturally has enough speed and mobility to be able to maneuver around the subject matter or maneuver around Bellanor without getting hit too much, without having to sacrifice defensive properties by switching out to Swift. But even if you wanted more speed out of it, you could. So basically what this comes down to is natural speed over aerial attacks, and there could be arguments made for both. For me personally, I'm going with the Pyrin, but I am also building a Ragnahawk, so I will have options. We'll go see how they do against Frostallion, and we will Gobfin stack ourselves. All right, we're here at Frostallion. We got our 4 Gobfin stack. Okay, she's not going to be worth it, so I will put on my other attack pendant. But we're sitting at 180% while riding on the back of the Pyrin. So it is a 20% increase to attack power while riding on the back of it. That's pretty cool. I thought it was only a 10%, but I was wrong. See how quickly we can take her down. See how well we can maneuver this stuff. That was pretty quick. Able to dodge most of the stuff, at least to the point where we were able to re-heal back. Now I have to figure out a way back. Getting over here wasn't the hard part. Getting back is. So yeah, all in all, pretty good avoidance. I would be doing the raid with him, but I'm still not entirely ready. I still got to get my chillet up and everything for the ultra, or the chillet's up, but I'm trying to get this Ragnahawk and these other ones done up. But yeah, overall maneuverability is really nice with the Pyrin. The jump isn't like the dire howl where you can't even jump over a pebble. Like the dire howl might have trouble getting over this rock. Another good thing about the Pyrin is that one of its moves is a get out of dodge, like kind of get where you need to go quick as well. So another little advantage of movement as well without having to apply swift. That's got to be the top of my base. I can see my house from here. Now let's go test the Ragnahawk. We are at the same increased passive attack at 180%, and we did not eat food, so we're not doing more damage. But that could be an additive as well. All right, let's start this up. Was able to still dodge that pretty well. Not that though. Oh, you know what I forgot to do is attack with the seed mine. So we will not do that with this one. Keep a baseline. I got hit pretty hard with that. I am missing a lot now. Aerial superiority. All right, so yeah, didn't really take too much damage either. One thing that also could be noted is that the Ragnahawk, I think, is just naturally more tanky, because even with it having only a 16 defense, it's actually at more defense than the Pyrin is. Because this one's at a 83, but only at 791. This one's at a 16 with 875. So that's another argument that could be made, which is why you could go with Swift over Burly Body just to be able to maneuver better and still be tanky if you get, you know, good IVs on them. But yeah, out of the two, which one is better? To be honest, they're both incredibly good. One thing that I will say is that Wixen does apply the same damage type. The difference is that she cannot be ridden. Now, this does nothing for the damage values that you're producing in general, but what it does mean is if you have her out, especially during the raid, she will go and attack the raid boss, which in that instance, when you're riding on these two types of pals, you can avoid damage, you can get around certain attacks and be able to avoid most damage that's going to be coming at you. When you have a Wixen out, you're on foot, so you're at the disposal of your own movement speed. And then on top of that, the Wixen will probably die because it will go after the boss and there's no way to pull her back or keep her from that. Unless you whistle don't attack, you're definitely losing mobility. And then on top of that, you're just having out a pal that's not going to be attacking as well. Not really the greatest of things in my opinion. So Wixen, in my opinion, is just not the play here. But between Ragnahawk and Pyrin, you really can't go too wrong. Pyrin, you're going to be able to get more movement speed out of a bit than the Ragnahawk. The Ragnahawk can be built a little bit more tanky and have a movement speed perk instead. So basically this comes down to whether you want aerial advantage to be able to shoot from the sky or ground movement speed, or the difference between movement and overall tankiness. But you can have the best of both worlds if you really build them the right way, as far as putting in the passives that you want on either one of them. So as far as this goes, I'm calling it a stalemate because both have good arguments for them. I think that the Ragnahawk, though, in my opinion, could inevitably be better based off of its IVs being so low right here in comparison to the IVs on this one, which does have a good health and defensive bonus. As soon as I get the right IVs on the Ragnahawk, it's probably going to outshine the Pyrin as far as overall stats for health and defense. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like. If you guys like my content, drop a sub. And if you guys would write down in the comments below who your choice is for the raid battle between Ragnahawk and Pyrin for the second half. Or are you using to chill it all the way through like a boss? Yeah, other than that, Keep your willy washed, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.